Hello, this is Joe from Damon Library. Let me tell you about when we see students at their saddest. It's not when they can't find a source, it's when they find a great source, quote it in their paper, and then when it comes time to cite it properly, they can never find it again. And without being able to find the original source the quote came from, that student cannot use that good, juicy, brilliant quote, which is a bummer. And this happens way more often than you might think. So this tutorial is here to show you how to save a source, so this never happens to you. We're going to start with CINAHL, an EBSCO database. Let's imagine I've found this article. It's fabulous, and I know it's going to end up in my paper. We'll start with how not to save this source. The URLs of your search results in EBSCO and ProQuest databases are only temporary. They will not bring you back to that original source. Don't use them. So what can you do? Well, there are a lot of different ways you can save your research. The most basic information you'll need to find an article again is its title and the authors. If this is the article I want to come back to, I could write down in my notes, Critical Review of Health Impacts of Wildfire Smoke Exposure by Reed and a bunch of other people. This will allow me to search for and find the article again using the title and first author. But even better would be having a system to keep track of your sources. One system might be reference management software like Zotero. That's a whole thing you can learn about in another tutorial. You can also make your own simple system. Here's a little spreadsheet for my research. I'll type in Reed et al. And Critical Review of Health Impacts of Wildfire Smoke Exposure. Great. Now let's head back to the article record. If you want to get back to this article, you can also grab what's called the permalink. Here's where you can get it. And it pops up here. I'll copy it and then paste it into my spreadsheet. And there we go. You can also grab a permalink not just for a single source, but for an entire search. This is a good idea if you've constructed a search that seems to work really well and that contains multiple relevant sources that you may not have time to go through all at once. So to save the permalink, you'll click this box, then copy the permalink to your clipboard and paste it in your notes or an email to yourself. And when you use that permalink, you'll get the whole set of search results again. Now, the other way to save a source is to just get the whole file, rather than having to look it up every time you want to read or cite it. There are a couple ways to do that. The first is to download a PDF of the article. I'll select PDF full text, and then hit my little folder icon here, and click Save. There it went to my download folder. If you're working on a public computer, you can email the file to yourself. Select Email, then make sure to click the box under Include when sending that says PDF. I'll put my email in here and remind myself what this is. Voila, there it goes. Finally, you can also upload the article PDF to your Google Drive. This really works best with browsers like Chrome. And if you're not already signed into your Google account in that browser, it will prompt you to do so. And once I click here, it will save it to my Google Drive. If you found your source through the Damon Library Catalog or SearchCat, you'll have some similar options for saving your source. You can click the share icon and then copy link, or you can email the record to yourself. Finally, you can grab a citation. Select Cite, then the citation style you want, then manually copy the citation. As you can see, here the citations aren't always perfect. You'll need to proofread them. Okay, let's wrap up. We've covered 5 ways to save a source so you can find it again. 1, write down the title and authors, then use these to search for the article when you need to find it again. 2, grab the permalink. 3, download the PDF to your device. 4, email it to yourself. And 5, upload it to your Google Drive. And whatever you do, don't rely on the URL. One more time, Don't rely on the URL. Okay, thank you for listening. If you'd like to learn more, don't hesitate to get in touch with the librarian.